Wait, we didn't win. But we also didn't lose. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to an episode of Packcast, a podcast where you don't have to do Packers time, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. Nope, I have no idea what the hell's going on. I'm not even pretending I do anymore. Grossi, and today we are going to attempt to rank the top 10 teams heading in to NFL Week 14. And it's just getting tougher and tougher. Teams that have looked unstoppable, they were stopped this past Sunday. And teams that didn't look so good apparently are really, really good. Looking at you, Cowboys. Yes, why haven't you looked so good? Because you lost to the Packers. And as a Packers fan, come on, guys. The only other team that does that pretty often is the Bears. And so let's get started this week with our number 10 spot. You got the Washington Commanders, and I honestly just don't know anymore. Technically, the Commanders are out of the playoff race right this second, or at least they're not in the top 7 in the NFC. They're sitting at number 8, and they tied this past week. And the Giants, I can't give up enough for them to be in the top 10, though I guess you could argue it, but they haven't looked so great. They have so many injuries, and they played decently well. And the Commanders, they were on a nice little win streak going. They were playing well, and then this happened. The Seahawks, they suck against the Rams, so I can't put them at 10. The Ravens, good God, they don't deserve to be anywhere near the top 10, and they're winning their division. So yeah, we're here, and Wildflower gets another spot. They have a bunch of divisional matchups coming up. The Giants did play the Cowboys pretty tough, and we saw what the Cowboys did this week. So I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think the Commanders still could be a playoff contender, considering the Giants, I just don't think it's going to continue to work out for them because they have a decently tough schedule ahead. And on top of that, as I mentioned, a ton of injuries. So the Commanders, you get to sit at number 10 for right now. I don't think you're going to be moving up, but it's another week of Wildflower at least. Number 9, you got the Tennessee Titans. Oh boy. Titans. Yeah, you got your ass kicked. Really shouldn't have gotten rid of A.J. Brown, huh? And I imagine the Titans, thefore the game, they're trying to hype themselves up.
We all want a victory! Yeah!
But they just got destroyed. This was supposed to be the game where the Titans, they proved that they were over their ex. They didn't need A.J. Brown. Get on out of town. Yep, nope, turns out that they were in a codependent relationship and they needed him badly. Derrick Henry, for the second week in a row, not really able to do much. Treylon Burks had an amazing catch, got injured in the end zone though, but kudos to the rookie for holding on to that ball. Again, just hopefully he's okay. And the Titans are kind of just a weird team. I don't think they're a super great team. Hell, they beat the Packers, but I don't think they're super good. And I just don't believe in their offense enough. Their defensive line and their pass rush is really good, but they need help. They're still going to win their division because it's the AFC South and the Colts were the closest team to them, so not much there. So yeah, Titans, you get to stay at number 9, but it's kind of a courtesy. Number 8, I don't care if you won, you're dropping a few spots. You got the purple incarnation of Satan, the Minnesota Vikings. How? How do you do it? And I don't want to be repetitive, but seriously, they can't keep getting away with it. It's just every single week, I just have to watch every day. Just the Vikings. Oh, they squeaked out another win. Oh, they got another win. And listen, I know the Packers can't win the division. And listen, it's not a surprise that the Vikings are going to win it considering how good they've been. But come on, man. They were playing really well, and then their defense was just like, come on down, Mike White. And the Jets almost freaking fracking won the game if it wasn't for them jetting it all up. So yes, the Vikings win again. Did I drop them just out of spite? Maybe a little bit, but they remain in the top 10. The only thing that matters is they're getting the W. And hell, honestly, with how the league is going, they could make a run for it. And that will be the darkest timeline. The darkest one.
The darkness is coming.
Number 7, they're going to drop down a few spots. You got the Miami Dolphins. Oh, Dolphins. Guys, what happened? What happened? Yeah. The Dolphins lost to Brock Purdy. Jimmy G was carted off, but he has a chance to return in the playoffs since he shouldn't need surgery, but we'll wait and see. And this was gonna be a tough game because the San Francisco 49ers arguably have the best defense in football right now. And I know that the Dolphins defense had been struggling, so maybe it was gonna struggle to contain some of the runners or the dynamic playmakers, but this was bad, like real bad. They got off to a very quick start, and then they just didn't run the ball anymore. Tua, erratic with some throws. I'm not gonna let that be a complete judgment on him. Just had a bad game. Mike McDaniel had a rough day play calling, and that defense just could not stop the 49ers. And again, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, the very last player drafted. They couldn't stop him. And that's a big shout out to Kyle Shanahan and the offense he's created down there. But yeah, the Dolphins, who were supposed to be an offensive juggernaut, really slowed down here. They kept it a one-score game at the very end. You know, they were starting to come back a little bit. Tyreek Hill got into the game a little bit more. Tua's stats got a little bit better, but just an ugly game for the Dolphins that they are going to wish to forget and move on from. They are still going to be contenders in the AFC, but that was a bad loss, and that's reflected on here. Number 6, you got the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I know that the 49ers fans are going to be upset right now because they're like, whoa, why are we not like top 3? Hold on. Your defense, again, tippity top. Right on the top of the mountain, probably the best one in the league. Have all these playmakers who are dynamic. Your team is just weird, man. Like, it's a weird team, and I'm having trouble ranking them. You've won 5 straight, and I gotta give it to you. And there's times where you look amazing. You destroy the Arizona Cardinals, and then you shut out the Saints, but you only scored 13 points. And now here, I mean, it's weird. Your defense is good. Your offense is good. But, like, your quarterback is Brock Purdy, man. Like, and it's not gonna get any better. You got Josh Johnson back there now on his 18th team. I don't know if Brock Purdy can take you the distance because I feel like if you have an offense that you're playing against that can kind of get past your defense, you're gonna be in trouble and have trouble keeping up with them in terms of points. So really your only knock is the QB. Your knock was the QB when Jimmy Garoppolo was back there behind center, but now it's Brock Purdy. What is Kyle Shanahan gonna do with Purdy? I have no idea. But until you get Uncle Rico back there, I imagine Shanahan is going to treat Brock Purdy just like this.
Pretty bird. Yes, pretty bird. Pretty bird.
Number 5, you got the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs, I think you might have a cat allergy. Yeah, Joe Burrow, apparently owner and proprietor of the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bengals, they looked pretty impressive. Their defense was good, really held Mahomes in check. Travis Kelce barely did anything all day, started to come along later in the game, but they also forced a fumble from him. And Mahomes did the best that he could to keep it going, but they were just overall contained. Same score as the AFC Championship game last year. And listen, the Chiefs are arguably still one of the best teams in the AFC. They're no longer in the number 1 spot because that belongs to the Buffalo Bills. But we've seen this from the Chiefs before. I mean, hell, they lost to the Colts earlier this year. So the Chiefs, no time to panic. You're playing the Denver Broncos next week, so you should be able to beat the ever-living crap out of them. Sorry, Brandon Perna. So you'll have a nice chance to bounce back then, and we'll see what happens come playoff time. Though, maybe that rematch is going to be played in Buffalo. Or maybe you're going to Cincinnati. Oh, no. Number 4, you got the Cincinnati Bengals. Kitty goes meow. On a 4-game win streak, and listen, I've given the Bengals some crap because of lack of consistency. For a while, I was going win, loss, win, loss. But now, 4-game win streak, seemed like they've cleaned it up. And the reason why I have the Bengals ranked so high is because they're only going to get better. This was Jamar Chase's first game back, and the Bengals left points on the board. They decided not to kick a field goal, and they wound up missing out on 3 points, and Tyler Boyd dropped a wide open touchdown. Now, how are they going to get better? Joe Mixon's going to return. P. Ryan's been playing very well, running very hard for them, but Joe Mixon is a dynamic playmaker. I do worry about Zach Taylor and your head coaching abilities, but I think you have more than enough talent to make up for that. Your defense is low-key really good right now, and because of that, I got to give him props. You stopped Derrick Henry last week. You contained Patrick Mahomes this week. And so you find yourself in the top 5. Number 3, you got the Buffalo Bills.
You can't imitate beef. It just tastes better.
That's an Impossible Whopper?
I'm a damn fool.
Bills. Thank you. That's what I've been waiting for. Absolutely demolishing the New England Patriots. And the Patriots, listen, they had a good game on Thanksgiving against the Vikings. I know they didn't win, but the offense came out a little bit. Oh, no. The offense was slammed back down into a hole after this week. The Bills just say, nay, Mac Jones, you're not going to beat us. And their offense, Stephon Diggs continued to flourish. Josh Allen looked good. Couple of bad passes on one drive that could have resulted in interceptions, but they're going up against a solid defense in the New England Patriots. So the Bills, you jump back into the top 3. They are now the number 1 seed in the AFC. So if they're able to hold on to that, that's going to be big for them. A looming showdown with the Dolphins is coming in a few weeks. That is going to be a monumental game for them. But until then, you're sitting at number 3. Number 2, you got the Dallas Cowboys. I thought about putting them at number 1 because I thought they would murder me after what they did to Jeff Saturday on Sunday night. I mean, McCarthy benched Jeff Saturday a few years ago. They may have retired him now. Yeah, the Cowboys absolutely killed the Colts. And it was a close game. It was a 2-point game going into the fourth quarter. I'm like, wow, this is a really bad look for the Cowboys. You know, the Colts are not really a good football team. And then they scored over 30 points in the fourth quarter. And it got to a point where it made me a little uncomfortable, like I was basically watching a new Saw movie.
I want to play a game.
The Cowboys utilizing Zeke, Pollard, Dak played pretty well, but it was that defense. That defense absolutely killed Matt Ryan. And listen, the offensive line of the Colts is not good. He barely had any time to throw. But in the end, oh boy. Colts have 30 fumbles on the season now. The Cowboys, they're responsible for a few of them. The Cowboys defense is mean. They are going to punch you in the mouth, and they could be dangerous come playoff time. Depending on the consistency of that offense, I think this team is going to go as far as their defense is going to take them. We'll see if they can be consistent down the stretch during these divisional games. But right now, yeah, the Cowboys are at number 2. And number 1, returning to number 1, you got the Philadelphia Eagles. Not only on a 3-game win streak, but hot damn. This was A.J. Brown's revenge game. And Nick Sirianni basically stole A.J. Brown like that scene in Good Will Hunting.
Do you like apples?
Yeah.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
How do you like them apples? Well, how do you like passing yards? Because they didn't even really run the ball too much. This was the Jalen Hurts show. 380 yards through the air. Jalen Hurts absolutely tore it up. And this is what you want to see. He ran all over the Green Bay Packers, and so did Miles Sanders. They can obviously run. And now, oh yeah, they have a bunch of other weapons too. Jalen Hurts slinging the rock all over the place, and the Eagles just looked unstoppable Sunday against a good contender in the Titans. When the Eagles and Cowboys face off again, that's going to be a really, really fun game, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see it again in the playoffs. The defense of the Eagles held Derrick Henry. That's 2 weeks in a row, as I mentioned before. Their run defense definitely did improve, though getting some guys back from injury definitely helped. But the Philadelphia Eagles, right now, they're the most dominant team in football. They're on a big win streak, and they just decimated the Tennessee Titans. So you're at number 1. So to recap, at number 1, you got the Eagles. Number 2, you got the Cowboys. Number 3, you got the Bills. 4, Bengals. 5, Chiefs. 6, 49ers. 7, Dolphins. 8, Vikings. 9, Titans. And 10, the Commanders. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who else do you think could end up on this list? Do you think a team like the Seahawks still deserve to be on here? What about the Ravens? And hell, the Raiders are on a 3-game win streak too. Let me know. You guys tell me at TomGrossiComedy.com or TomGrossiComedy, all social media, see down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy and the YouTube members. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.